So we've already gone through the worst of 2014, but luckily the good shows of 2014 were really good. Here's my top 5 best cartoons of 2014. So the rules are the same as the worst list. They have to be new shows that premiered on American television in 2014. So again, no web series, no Bee and Puppycat or anything like that. No seasons, so no Legend of Korra, no Gravity Falls, none of that. And if they premiered another place in 2013, like online or in another country, but they had their premiere on American television in 2014, it counts. So let's get started. Number 5 is Clarence. Not a popular choice, and I have to confess that when I first saw this show, I wanted it to be number 1. I wanted this to be the best show of 2014 because it started out very strong. It had a lot of like real moments in it, like how there was an episode where Clarence was talking to a girl who was trying to deal with her parents getting divorced, and he went up to her and said, you know, I never had my dad, but everything turned out pretty good for me. And that was really great. That was a very sweet moment. Unfortunately, the show hasn't really been that good since. There's a lot of weird tangents it goes off on. There's a lot of bizarre imagery and just stuff that seems very out of place. Watching certain episodes might give you a good nostalgic feeling about being a kid and going out with your friends and goofing off and getting into trouble. It's just a shame the show couldn't maintain that feel throughout, you know, all the episodes. But I still think it's a decent show. It's a good kids show. I'll leave it at that. So good effort, Clarence. You didn't get an A, but you are a solid B+ player. Number 4. Number 4 is Space Dandy. I was debating whether I was gonna put anime on this list. In fact, of all the best and worst videos I've done, I don't think I have put an anime on the list because I haven't seen many good anime, not since maybe 2006. But I was actually very impressed by Space Dandy. It's done by the guy Watanabe, who did Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, and you know, great shows like that. When it premiered, it kind of looked completely crazy, so I just thought I'd check it out. And yeah, I really liked it. It goes, it's like over the top, but it's like the right kind of over the top. It's got like a sense of sarcasm behind it, but at the same time, it's also a very smart show because it'll go into stuff like alternate realities and alternate pathways in time, and you know, they talk about episodes where characters die, but then they're back in the next episode, and that's considered like another timeline, and it does things like that, and I really like stuff like that. I like I kind of like quantum theory and like different possibilities and alternate universe, and I like when it's incorporated into fiction. And the only thing that really has kept this show from being a little bit higher on the list is because, well, stuff like that will go over a lot of people's heads. A lot of episodes you have to kind of watch again just to really let them sink in. And the other thing is, a lot of episodes were kind of hit or miss. There was a bunch of episodes that they didn't really, they weren't really entertaining, or as entertaining as they should have been, or they were just kind of stupid. Like there was a episode where they met 2 races of aliens who were at war with each other, and there was only like 2 aliens, like, and they were at war with each other because one wears t-shirts and the other one wears underwear only, and yeah, it was a lot of stupid stuff like that. This was also one of those shows where a lot of Japanese humor, or at least in anime, involves perversion, and characters that are perverted, like someone that'll grab a girl's butt or something like that. And I don't like that kind of thing. I don't like that in anime, which is probably why I don't like much anime anymore, because that seems to be all there is. But this show kind of does it right, because it'll add it in like when it's funny, when it's actually funny, instead of just, oh, he's a pervert, therefore that's hilarious, or something like that, even though it really shouldn't be hilarious. Perverts are not funny. But something about Space Dandy felt right. Felt very good. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm swallowing my pride and say this is an anime that I really like. Number 3 is Star Wars Rebels. I love Star Wars Rebels. I think when I first did the Rob Watches on this one, I may have said, like, it felt like Star Wars is back. Maybe I'm a little too soon to declare that, especially with the upcoming movie, but this show, let's call it a good start. I love all the characters in this. Not a single one of them felt annoying or, like, forced upon us, aside from maybe the odd cameo of R2-D2 and C-3PO, although I'm sure they have a plan to incorporate them further, but I'm not really sure. But what I did really like about this show is how it had a lot of subtlety to it, and there was a lot of things they didn't really explain. There was like subtle, like things going on, like Hera was very secretive about who they work for, and Kanan clearly has something he's hiding, and they haven't really revealed that yet, at least not in season 1. By the time this video goes up, I believe there's going to be new episodes, so I don't know if they'll be revealed just yet, but it's enough to keep me watching and make me want to see more of it. If they keep the same tone and they release those secrets just little by little, and they just give those characters a little bit of growth as we go along, I think this will be shaping up to be a pretty damn good show. Okay, so number 1 and number 2 were actually kind of hard to pick between. They are two very different shows that excelled in two very different categories, and I really like both of them, but placing them was very hard. However, I finally came to a conclusion. The second best show of 2014, The 7D. Now, when I did a Rob Watches on this, I may have said something like, I can't see adults really getting into this show. It's a good kids show, but I can't see adults liking it. Then I found myself watching it quite a bit, so I kind of have to eat my words at this point. But I'm okay with that because this show is very entertaining. It's a lot of fun, and it should be because it's the creators of Animaniacs working on it. It's not as good as Animaniacs, but it's got that same spirit. It's very much a spiritual successor to all of like the 90s WB shows like Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, and Freakazoid and all that. And the show also gets major points for an Animaniacs Easter egg, or not really an Easter egg, it's more of a cameo really, which I won't reveal, but if you know what it is, then you get a gold star. And if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. I love everything about the show. It's funny, it's got great pacing, the characters are hilarious. I love the 7D. I love the Glooms. They were great. Kelly Osbourne was such a surprise hit as a voice actor. I love what she does in this. I want to see her do more stuff. Everything about it, I can hardly find anything about this show that I didn't like. This show is an antidepressant. I challenge you to have a bad day and then go watch some 7D episodes and not smile at least once. It's that good. So the 7D is great. It's full of funny gags and great music, and it's just a happy show. But what was it that kept it from being number 1? Well, I think what it comes down to is that I prefer a really good story. The #1 best show of 2014, Over the Garden Wall. What can I say about this show? It's just, I can't believe it exists. Let's put it that way. I love the story, I love the music, I love the setting, I love the atmosphere, I love the characters, they were all great. I loved all the things they encountered along the way. It had a great message to it. It had a lot of subtext. The one thing I can think of that maybe, I don't know if I covered this in the other video, but there were a few things about it that were not fully explained, and I guess that's a good thing because it leaves some stuff open to interpretation. Like, we never really got the whole story with the woodsman and the lantern, but again, that's a good thing. It works in the show's favor because it leaves things open to debate. It leaves you open to using your imagination. I did say in the video that the conflict was kind of a non-conflict without spoiling anything, but even though it was very simple, it did have a very good message behind it. And if you've not seen it yet, track it down and watch some episodes. I believe Cartoon Network is gonna be airing it again because they did air it a couple of days ago, at least from when I'm filming this video. And so it's good to know that they at least still acknowledge its existence and still care about it. Still waiting for that DVD though, because I really want more people to see this, or at the very least put it on the website. I don't know if it's on the website now. I know it wasn't when I initially did my video about it. So the only place I think you can legitimately watch it is Amazon Instant Video, and I don't think it's very expensive off of that. But again, I hope they release a DVD or a Blu-ray, because I want some I want background stuff on it. I want some behind-the-scenes stuff. I want to see the animatics and commentary, because this show also felt like a very personal story. The guy behind it is Pat McHale, who I mentioned worked on Adventure Time and Flapjack, and it did feel like a very personal story that he came up with. And apparently he was working on it for like 10 years, so this was a passion project for him. And I should also mention that he made a cartoon for Cartoon Hangover, which I'll link to in the video, so you should definitely check that out. And I really hope that we get to see a lot more from him, because I love his style, I love his storytelling, and we need more really good, we need more of that in the cartoon world right now. We need to stop with stupid, nonsensical crap like Breadwinners and Mr. Pickles, and we need less of that and more Over the Garden Walls, and we need more 7Ds and stuff like that. You know, we need a little passion behind our cartoons. So those are my top 5 best cartoons of 2014. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and let me know if there were any shows that I might have missed. My name is Rob, I'm wonderful, and I'll see you next time.